Hi everyone, welcome back to Disc Golf Valley Tips and Tricks, and today we're going to be taking a look at Kaho Backwoods. Alright, hole number 1. I've been finding that our beach ball rive that we picked up a week or so ago is working really good for me on this hole. I've come to really appreciate this beach ball rive, and it works so great on many holes. I'm thinking of just keeping it in my bag, even once I do acquire the Rive Extra Glide roll disc. See, it brings you right up to the basket for an easy toss-in. The other Rive usually leaves me up the hill somewhere or way back. I don't know if there's anything else I can show you on that. I mean, I suppose if you had a different wind condition or you didn't have the beach ball rive, I don't know what else. I don't really have another good disc to use to bring me all the way to the basket. Suppose the ballista might make it there if you have that in your bag. Yeah, it brings you up fairly close. So if you don't have the beach ball disc and you're just not willing to make the purchase, try that. I think I'm going to go with the fuse here, and so yeah, that works. Moving on. Hole number 2. Alright, here we want our Zeus or any good distance driver with a skip attribute, and compensate for the wind here. Find that if it hits a branch of a tree there when it's coming through, it does slow it down quite a bit. Alright, and you can land in a lot of different positions off this drive, but it's the second shot that's quite critical here of getting it right. And against this wind, we might pull it down a little bit more than usual, but usually we don't want to go too much down. You don't want to err on the side of being long on this hole. Just fair warning. Oh, that bush really messed up our shot. And then the wind could mess us up some more. But in we go. And that's pretty much the play on that. You just want to be careful not to go over the hill here and into the river. It sends you all the way back to where you first, well, not to the second throw, and you end up with a bogey or a double bogey. You don't want that. Let's play it one more time, I guess. The Zeus again. See how it slows it down. But this Zeus is pretty lively. Kind of like it. But now we're 83 back, 83 meters. Might go forehand with a 10 speed. We should be fine. It should stick the landing. Okay, hole number 3. Here again, the beach ball is working good for us. I usually come back around to the side here with a forehand. Slide over a bit so it doesn't hit the pole. And that still does work with the beach ball. Rive, it just kind of swings around, slides up to the basket. All right, here's the line for going straight down the fairway, and with this beach ball rive, you can pretty much just pull it straight back. Maybe put just a little bit of a hyzer on it. Let it swing around. Hopefully, it doesn't hit a tree. but brings you fairly nice close to the basket. All right, here's a hole on this course where you have a good opportunity to pick up a eagle as you're going for your 3-star run, and the beach ball disc works here again. You're going to start to think that I'm a salesperson for the people who make this game, but no, I just love the game and like to promote it, but I don't have any stocks in the company. Here we'll go for our Zeus and bring it around. Hopefully it goes through some trees here without slowing down too much. For an eagle. Let's play it again, just so you get a good feel for it. A little bit different wind condition this time. You want that just to rest up on the knoll there. And here we can sneak through the 2 trees here. Same disc, the Zeus. Bring it down a little lower because of the wind. So there you go. It's always nice to pick up that eagle. This is kind of a tricky hole. When you first start playing it, you'd think that the play would be to go straight down here and around to the basket, but I never did have very good luck with that approach. The way that most everybody does play it is just to slide over on your pad and swing around here and pull straight back with a 10 speed. It helps if the 10 speed has an extra glide. But this PD seems to do fairly well to make it there. Just goes a little further than the regular musket with the roll attribute. It's kind of nice. All right, hole number 6, and this can be a little bit challenging. To get up and over the wall and come around to the basket is a little tricky without finding yourself behind a bush or a tree. And so you might want to plan to spend a little time on this one. I've been finding that the Grace works pretty good here, actually. Now, the Grace already has a tendency to turn, go off to your right on a backhand throw. So I might point it down here and maybe even compensate a little bit for that in this wind anyway, and hopefully it doesn't hit a tree. That left us back a ways, and remember it's up on a pedestal, so you pull back just a hair more than normal, and I didn't pull it back enough. So we end up with a birdie, which you don't like when you're going for your 3 stars. Let's play that again. Let's see if we can't do better with the Grace this time. That's kind of more like what we're looking for. Well, yeah. Now, if you don't have the Grace, the ballista that you have in your bag, either this one or the one that you got on the last hole, on the last 3 star, should work okay here as well. And just put a little bit of a hyzer on that. And right behind a tree, but I think we can work with that. With the pure, let's change it to backhand. The pure, if you put a little bit of a hyzer on it, it will actually turn. The fuse doesn't turn so well, so when you're in a situation like this, I usually like to switch and use the pure. All right, there you go, some nice birdies. This one is a little bit annoying. The play here is, well, almost any disc works. Gets you close enough that you can usually get your birdie. So we could try almost anything here, except if you get too strong of a disc, like a distance driver, you can have a tendency to go over the hill and into the abyss. Let's try the Grace, I think, here. And with this wind, we wouldn't want to put too much of a hyzer on it, otherwise you'll hit a tree. And this disc is going to go off anyway, so say something like that. Well, that didn't quite go the way I would like, but it still leaves you fairly easy throw in. Remember to watch the wind here. Let's maybe try a different disc. We could even try the PD here. And that worked out well. There's another line that I see people doing when I'm playing the multiplayer. You know, the new multiplayer, if you've been away for a while, has a streak that follows the other players, so you can see the lines that they are using. And I see a lot of them going off to the left here, so let's give it a try. I've never really found that it works very well for me, but let's maybe try the 11 speed here and see if we can't do something with it. Hold on, maybe we can slide over, get more of an opening here. Just hit a bunch of trees and down out of bounds. I don't know what they're using or how they get through those trees. Let's try the ballista. Plows through the trees, still leaves you back quite a ways. If someone watching this has a clue of what to do here, okay, this seems to be, almost aced it. Okay, so maybe there are some holes there. If you want to take the time to investigate that, I see a lot of people going that way. All right, hole number 8. This hole, depending on the direction of the wind, I might start out with a extra glide. And you should be fine and not be in any danger of going down into the river. But if you have a 3-speed wind that goes in this direction, there's a chance you'll end up in the river. So I would use the PD in that case if the wind is that direction. In fact, just to play it safe, you might always use the PD as your driver or your 10-speed with a roll. But here we should now, with only 98 meters, be able to do fine with the PD. And just come right down to the basket with a nice little kick. So let's maybe play it the other way. Show you what I usually do take the 10 speed with the roll attribute first, and just without much thought, just bring it down, and it usually lands in a fairly decent position to then grab the other 10 speed that has the extra glide on it. To bring you down to the basket. That's probably a little safer play. If it hadn't hit that tree, it would have probably gone for a tap in. Alright, be sure and compensate for the difference in elevation here. We're not going to pull it back all the way. Alright, hole number 9. And this hole actually has the potential of giving you another eagle. If you have the right discs in your bag. Unfortunately, I do not have the right discs. I've been playing around with this hole with my bag, and I just don't have anything that works well. But I'll show you the line with the Zeus. Put your pointer about here, and the idea is to swing around with a hyzer and pull it back and go through the trees here, hoping that you don't hit any of them. And then for your second shot, if you've got a line on the basket, run it, and that gives you an eagle. So that's the idea. However, I have found that this Zeus can have a tendency to skip out of bounds on you, and then you end up losing points. So I'm just always a little nervous to use it on this hole. Let's try it again here. Ooh, that's going to hit a tree. But the good thing about trying for your eagle is that if you miss it, you can always still get your birdie. Just by, if you can't see the basket, just approach it, just lay up to it, and then you get your second shot as an easy toss. I mean, your third shot is an easy tossing for your birdie. Let's maybe first of all try this ballista the normal way. See how it does. Well, that works pretty good, doesn't it? So keep that in mind. Might be an incentive to pop that disc in your bag. Let's try the other way. Switch to forehand and come around the other way. Of course, we got the wind against us here. Nice thing about being on this hole in the practice mode where you've defined this hole, when you started it, you can always hit restart and get a different wind condition. That's a little better to work with. Well, might have some potential coming that way as well. So there you go. Eagle either way with that new ballista that you got. All right, well, I believe that's everything I wanted to show you on this course, and stick around or come back and we'll show you our 3-star run on this course. And so we'll see you next time here at Disc Golf Valley Tips and Tricks. So long for now.